would just like to ask what the Philippines' most valuable minerals as of the moment.
Okay. As of the moment, definitely those are the metallic minerals. What are these? These are gold, copper, nickel, chromite, so yun. And right now, we are, since top producer tayo ng nickel, then I would say it will be nickel.
Wait, ma'am, where can we find this mineral?
Actually, you could find it in different areas in the Philippines, but most of them are abundant in the Mindanao area. That's the reason why the Mindanao area, particularly the Caraga region, Surigao del Norte, has been called as the mining hub of the Philippines kasi there are so many mining companies mining an nickel ore. So, yun yung area niya. But I would say, in the entire Philippines, you have different geological formation, and so there are different minerals that have been deposited do sa area. Okay?
Since you mentioned about deposits, how does the mineral deposit happen?
Actually, ganito yun. I would say that the expert that would be able to discuss to you about this deposition and everything, that would be the geologist. I am a mining engineer, but somehow I could give you some facts about this deposition. So, right now, there are different kinds of deposition. How this mineral, there are the hydrothermal. Actually, all of this comes from magma. So, we have the fault, diba? Yung crossing the line of the entire Philippines. So, most of these minerals have been extracted through these faults. And as you can see, most of this area then, the 5 gold districts, nasa within the fault line. So, yun. Pero, if you would want to have a detailed discussion regarding these positions, this will be discussed further by the geologist. And I'm a mining engineer. So, papasok lang si mining engineer once the geologist would say na there's enough ore reserve and you could extract it. So, kami na mining engineer, then we would do the planning on how this ore mineral can be extracted. So, ganun yun.
So, ma'am, we would like to ask about the mining corporations.
Yes.
What are the requirements or qualifications that you need in order to allow or permit a corporation to mine a certain location?
Okay, so we have to start with the area. So, under the Mining Act of 1995, you have a limitation on the area. You have the requirement of corporation in terms of if it's a domestic corporation or a foreign corporation, what kind of permit. So, there are different mining permits that you can apply. So, right now, the entry permit will be the exploration permit. So, who are qualified to file this exploration permit? So, you have any kind of corporation, whether it's a domestic or a foreign corporation. So, any corporation could apply for an exploration permit. Now, second, there's also an FTAA. So, Financial or Technical Assistance Agreement. This is a kind of permit, has a large-scale permit which would be signed and allowed only by the President. So, ang signatory nito ay si Presidente. Yun yung ma-enter sa contract. It is not devolved in the DNR Secretary, unlike in the exploration permit. Diba? So, the FTAA could be applied by anyone. Again, pwedeng domestic. When you say domestic, we're talking about a 60-40. 60% Filipino-owned and 40% pwedeng foreign-owned. Or entirely 100% Filipino-owned corporation. Or an entirely dito yung sa foreign naman, entirely 100% dun sa expiration permit. But this, ganun din sa FTAA. So, no difference at all. Saan sila magkakaiba? Definitely dun sa Mineral Production Sharing Agreement. Kasi when you say Mineral Production Sharing Agreement, yan na yung nagko-commercial utilization ka na. So that, the Mining Act allowed only a domestic corporation. So 60-40. But most of this could also apply by an individual, Filipino citizen. Okay? So yun yung mga requirement. What else? We have to look into also the authorized capital stock. When you say authorized, magkano ba dapat meron ng isang kumpanya? Dapat 100 million. Ha? So, dapat may authorized capital siya na 100 million and a paid up capital of 6.250 million. So, sa 100, kailangan nakabayad siya ng 6.250 bago siya ma-qualify. Kahit 60-40 yun, if your authorized or your paid up capital is not enough, hindi pwede. Okay? So, what else? Then, the land area. Marami kasing classification niya. It would be best if you would keep the Mining Act quick facts. So, nandun yun. Yung limitation of the area of the different, within the province and the entire Philippines. So, hindi naman pwedeng si Company A, mag-a-apply siya ng sandamakmak, na nilatagan niya na yung buong Pilipinas ng application. No. There's a limitation of the land area within a province, onshore or offshore, and in the entire Philippines. Okay? So, marami yan. So, maganda tingnan nyo na lang dun sa Mining Act. Ha? Sa quick facts. Okay. So, ano pa?
We saw an article po
Yes.
that some of the projects po, mining projects, was freeze po.
Yes, there's a moratorium right now. Previously, we have a moratorium under the Aquino government, previous government. We have a moratorium with regard to the MPSA, FTAA, the expiration permit, industrial sand and gravel permit. But then, for the meantime, na karoon ng moratorium, lumabas na si Executive Order number 79. So, when the Aquino government issued that, nilift yung moratorium. So, anong nilift? Ang nilift lang niya is the filing of application of an exploration permit or a financial or technical assistance agreement and the industrial sand and gravel permit. Kasi the Department of Public Works and Highways requested that we should lift this issuance of permit ng industrial sand and gravel because it's very, very important in the infrastructure program of the government. So, nilift yun. So, tatlo yung nalift. Isa lang ang naiwan. Sino yun? Ano yun? So, that is the Mineral Production Sharing Agreement. This is a permit where you could be able to extract commercially the minerals. Kasi si expiration at saka si FTAA, once you apply, you have to be in the expiration period. So, you are doing expiration, not mining. So, definitely no mining at all. When you have your MPSA, that's the time you say, I am mining. Okay, although, sa FTAA, baka magulo kayo kasi since we allow the FTAA, but you have to do expiration. Okay, so ngayon, I know you received information regarding the Oceanago, the Tampakan, the SMI. These are the FTAA grantee which already done with their expiration and now they are applying for the commercial operation. So ngayon, grinant si Oceana, si SMI still in the process of completing the processing ng MPS, the allowance na makapag-operate sila. But then, yun nga yung problema kasi si DNR Secretary, they have ino-audit lahat. Okay? So, nung dumating ngayon si President, and there's a directive from the DNR Secretary that we would have moratorium on all new mining application. So, this time around, lahat. So, wala kaming ipoproseso na mining application. So, that's the reason why the DNR Secretary also have the mining audit. So, ino-audit niya lahat ng mga operating mines na meron tayo ngayon, which has the Mineral Production Sharing Agreement na contract. Okay? So, yun yun. Kasi hindi na rin kami so, ang nangyari, tuloy-tuloy si MPSA na nagkaroon ng moratorium. In the previous government, we are waiting for a legislative act so that the excise tax, yung mga taxes, ma-change. So, we are waiting for that. So, while waiting, we have this moratorium. But today, since there's this different government, different mining policy, hinold lahat. Kaya yan may hold. So, binigay ko lang yung background, ha. So, right now, everything naka-hold. Lahat ng new application. But that does not mean naman yung existing. Kasi sa batas, we have this yung non-impairment of contracts. Hindi mo pwede basta ika-cancel kapag nabigay mo na. So, yun, ginagalang natin yun. So, yung mga yun na nabigay, ino-audit, tapos nire-respect natin. But dun sa mag-a-apply, yun yung on-hold. Okay.
So, ma'am, does this relate to what President Duterte said, that the mining industry is a sunset industry?
Sunset in terms na we have a hold in abeyance in all the application. There will be no new mining application until such time that this audit team and until such time that they would see na compliant lahat, then pwedeng mag-go.
Ma'am, would this affect the ranking of the Philippines in the mining?
Of course, it would. Even the investor side na business, there will be an impact. Definitely, there will be less investors that would look into the Philippines as a mining prospect. Kasi we have a unstable law, unstable policy when it comes to this mining business. Mind you, mining is still a business. So the investor will have to look into if they could have no problem pagdating sa business side. So, kung may mga regulation that would impede, lalo na we have to consider that mining is a different business in a different way. One, it is a high risk. Second, capital intensive. So, definitely, you have to think 100 times before you do investment pagdating sa mining. Okay, so talagang magkakaroon ng effect. And actually, we would be the one that would give yung prices ng nickel para mag-increase. Kasi nga, dahil mawawala si Philippines as producer, the law of supply and demand will come in. Okay?
You mentioned earlier na the geologists explore the area and then the engineers are the ones who extract the
You
so,
plan on how to extract the minerals from the ore.
how is this process done?
Now, that's the third professions na kailangan nyo makilala. Those are the metallurgists. They are the one who design naman the processing of this mineral. Kasi when we do the extracting, you have the raw materials. But how do you turn it into a copper cathode How do you turn this one in a gold bullion? Definitely, you need the metallurgist. They are the one who design the processes on how this will be converted into this kind of byproduct. Okay? So yun, sa metallurgist niyo makikita. There are different processes for gold, like carbon in pulp, carbon in leach. So, iba-iba yan, how to extract the gold. Meron naman when it comes to ito sa nickel, how do you extract, how do you process nickel. So, may iba-ibang proseso yan. And metallurgist ang gumagawa. Okay? What else?
The Tampakan Copper Gold Mining.
Yun yung sinasabi kong SMI. That's the one that I'm talking about, the SMI project. Actually, they're done with the exploration stage. So, they already have their ore resource. And what's stopping them is the community acceptance. And right now, ino-audit siya. Tinitingnan yung mga papers to complete. But definitely, nandun na siya sa side of applying na maging operational siya. Makapag-commercial extraction siya. So, kasi ang nakalagay sa batas, there should be one requirement is the need for a consultation in the different barangays, ang buong barangay, bayan, and panlalawigan. There is a need for them to have a project presentation and acceptance. Once na hindi nila yung makuha, it would be difficult for them to comply with the requirement. Kasi requirement yun ng mining. Definitely in the granting of their declaration of mining project feasibility. Yun. So, if they do not have this kind of requirement, mahirapan sila.
Question po. Di lang naman po gold ang isa sa mga pinaka-precious metals po ng Philippines. Ano rin po kasi, meron rin naman po tayong sa damakmak na natambak ng iron ore. Di ba po? Ang tanong po is, bakit po hindi natin in-extract yung iron ore? Kung rich naman po din yung Philippines, bakit po hindi po natin siya ginagamit? Bakit po natin siya in-extract? Hindi po natin siya pinaprocess? Hindi po natin binibenta? Bakit po?
Kasi ganito yan. Iho. Actually, na-extract na din natin siya. So, just to give a brief overview, yung mga minerals, para rin yung pamilya, kamag-anak, kaibigan. Once you have a nickel, you have an iron. Magkasama palagi yan sila. And usually, ang question dyan, ano yung market natin? The one na meron tayo sa Mindanao area, the nickel area, lahat yan iron. But ang question dyan, anong specification ng buyer? So, you have to consider the different minerals within the ore deposit ng nickel. Pag si buyer nagsabi, I want a 2% nickel and 40% iron. Kasi hindi mo siya mapaghiwalay eh. So, kaya mo lang siya nasabing ibinenta namin si nickel kasi ang most concern of the market is the nickel and how they were going to process it and tsaka nila paghihiwalayin yung nickel at yung ore, yun yung sinasabi nating nickel. But definitely, siniship out din natin yung iron ore kasi kasama siya sa nickel. If you would see the red soil na sinasabi, red soil is the iron ore. Kaya lang, pagsasabihin mo kasi siyang iron ore when in fact, yun yung primary ore na gusto mong ma-extract. Right now, hindi ganun eh. Ang primary ore na gusto ma-extract nila is yung nickel. Although, si iron nakadikit kay nickel. So once na sinabi ng buyer, I have a process for iron ore and I would want the iron content, no. So regardless kung anong grade yung ibig sabihin, kung 2%, 1% si nickel, wala siya pakailam. There will be a specification na si iron ore kailangan 47%. Pag 47%, pwede ko siya ibenta. Pero pag bumaba doon, rejected siya. So that would be your question na yun yung iron ore na binibenta mo. So ang clear dyan kung ano yung primary concern na ore mo which you're going to process, yun yung nagiging tawag na anong klaseng ore. But definitely, magkakasama yan. Okay? In one full unit. So, pag makikita mo, pag may nickel, may iron, may chromite. Pag may copper, may gold, and silver. So, yan yung kanya-kanya silang parang magkakapatid, na magkakasama o magpipinsan. Na yan yung makikita mo. Most probably, when you see gold, definitely there's something na masasabi mo, may copper dito. O pag nakita mo naman si nickel, masasabi mo, may iron to. Ganun yun. Okay? Ano pa? What else?
Ma'am, isa naman pong tanong is, meron po ba tayong mga mining quota or meron po ba tayong mga threshold na sa act po sa Philippines na kapag nakapag-mine kayo ng gantong, titigil muna kayo kasi baka po harmful sa environment or baka po kasi siya na pong over the top yung na nagkakaroon po ng geological effect on that area po. Meron po magkaroon?
Actually, yes, we have. But hindi siya case-to-case basis siya. Kasi the threshold limit will depend on your production rate as contained in your ECC or your Environment Compliance Certificate. Kung sinabi mo na 100 metric tons per year ka o annual, hanggang dun lang ang pwede mong extra. Why? Because you have a corresponding mitigating measures, environmental protection measures for these 100 metric tons. So, pag kinuha ko si 100 metric tons, meron ako mga plans, environmental programs on how I could mitigate this area. So, pag lumagpas ako, definitely hindi na pwede si mitigating measures for environment. So, yun yung nagiging threshold limit. And meron din silang feasibility study. Si feasibility study, nakalagay din doon kung ano lang yung kaya nilang i-produce. Mind you, hindi ganun din madaling mag-extract ng ore. Kasi it would entail different equipment, the human factor or yung mga labor. So, yung company would also think, ito lang, 100,000 lang kasi we would employ a certain number of person, we would have this kind of equipment. So, nakaplano yan. Hindi siya pwede pag, okay yan, mag-extract tayo na mag-extract din para mabenta. No, hindi ganun. Kasi, you have to have yung clearance from the EMB kasi lalagpas ka doon. Ino-audit yun. And, with regard to the MGB, we audit din namin yun. They submit reports doon sa mga monthly production nila. So, nakikita namin yun. Teka, bakit ganito? Sumobra ka. Bawal yun. Yun, may violation ka. So, yun. In every mining contractors or permittees, you have different threshold limits based on the ECC and based on the feasibility that was being approved by the government. Okay?
Yung last question ko po is, totoo po ba na mas maganda po ang quality ng gold sa Philippines compared po sa ibang country?
Quality. No, the quality of gold will depend on the processing. Okay? Hindi yan yung, lahat yan kasi pare-pareho yan when it is in the raw stage, yung tipong in-extract mo lang from they have this kind. Ang magkakaroon lang yan is yung grado. halimbawa si Felix extracted 0.5 grams of gold per metric tons. Si Africa, meron siyang deposition na 10 grams per metric ton. So, ano mas maganda? Siyempre si South Africa kasi mataas yung grade niya. What will be the effect of the volume? Siyempre may effect yun sa volume. Si Felix, kailangan niya ng ilang tons para makuha niya yung certain grams of gold. Pero si South Africa, dahil 10 grams per metric ton siya, siguro 4-5 metric tons na in-extract niya, kota niya na yung gusto niyang grams of gold. Unlike si Felix, kailangan niyang mag-extract na mag-extract kasi sa volume requirement and the grade content. So, yun yung nagiging issue. But at the end of the day, all this gold will do the processing. Yung metallurgist nga, ipaprocess yan. Ipa-fire asayin yan, and eventually you will arrive in a gold bullion or whatever byproducts. Yun pa rin yun. Same quality. So, walang issue as to maganda ba o hindi. Okay?